Welcome back to a new video on my channel, and this one's my camera settings. I've already done one for my freestyle camera settings, what I still use for freestyle, but these are my comp settings and my comp clip hitting settings. So I'm going to have two videos, one for the freestyle that's in my description, and this comp clip hitting one and comp now. So I'll get into the settings now, and I'll show my presets quickly after as well. So starting off with gameplay, I normally have this off, so it's much better without console players. So there's not much to really talk about for this, it's just, I think this one might not be default, but if these aren't default, just copy them. So pause the video if you haven't got them already. And this one, if you're any of these, just choose this. I'm Europe, so I'd pick Europe, but if you like American, choose these. You know what I mean. And this one, if you want Backsmod ones, if you open Backsmod and press this, it shows you all of the pros camera settings. But these are my ones. Camera shake off, obviously, because if you're not bronze, you probably won't have it on. So I definitely recommend turning that off. Field of view, 110 obviously, because you can see the most of the field. Maybe 108 if you've got a higher distance. Some freestylers have it like 108, but I recommend 110. Now for distance, I've got 250, but a lot of people have it up to 280, so it's your choice. So 260 to 280, it doesn't really matter. But I have it at 250 or 260 some days. So now height, I've got it at 90 because it's better for comp clip hitting. You can have it anywhere from 100, 90 or 111, 110 I mean. Wouldn't have it any higher because it's just weird. So I'd recommend 100 or 110. But I've got it at 90 just because it's easier to clip hit with. Now for angle, I've got it -3, but you can have it from -4, -3, -5. Not many people have it at. So -4 or -3, whatever you prefer. Now for the more optional stuff, it doesn't matter as much. Stiffness, the higher up you go, the more your camera won't zoom out when you go supersonic. A lot of pros have it at 1. But for comp clip hitting I have it 0.45, so it doesn't zoom out too much, but it also doesn't really stick to exact things, so it looks much cleaner. So I recommend around this. So if you're doing actual compo, you could do it much higher, but it's your preference really. These final three don't matter as much. Swivel speed, it's mainly just your preference, it doesn't matter much at all. So I recommend having a lower one because it's much, not cleaner, but it feels much better when you like look around your car and it just sees your surroundings much faster. Now for transition speed, if you have it like this, it just very quickly just snaps into position. So I recommend around 1.3, so it doesn't snap into position, it just cleanly goes into position. This is more preference too. I wouldn't have it higher than this though. Inverted swivel. This makes it easier to do longer air dribbles I think, but this is just something that I've always had on, so it makes me much better. So for comp clip hitting I prefer to have this on. If you're doing normal comp, you might not want it, so it's your choice. Now my bindings, R2 drive forwards, I won't read all of them out, I do it slowly going downwards. So R2 drive forwards, L2 drive backwards, and if you're Xbox, R2 is RT, RB is R1, LT is L2 and LB is L1. B is circle and square is X. Y is triangle, and A is X, then obviously the right and left stick, then there's not much else to it too. And something that I wouldn't recommend that I have is, where is it? Where's look behind? Yeah, rear view. I never use rear view at all, and I recommend maybe putting it on a better button so you use it more, so it's your choice. And arrow, I've got arrow left and arrow right. I wouldn't recommend just having normal arrow, but don't copy my keyboard and mouse spines because I never use that. Alpha sensitivity and dead zones. I've got 2.06. I recommend around 2. Don't have it any higher, or don't have it at 1. The higher it is, the easier it is for better musty flicks, but it's hard to air dribble, and I recommend just around 2 because it's good at both. And if you're much higher, just lower it gradually and you'll eventually get into it more. Controller dead zone, I've got it 0.25. This is so I can do stalls and it just doesn't feel really stiff still. But if you don't do stalls, I recommend having it as low as possible, like there. So I've got 0.25. Dodge dead zone, I've got a 0.7. This is so I can do flips and it's just much better at this. You can have it like 0.8 or a tiny bit lower, it's more your choice, but I have 0.7. Controller vibration, I've got it disabled, and this I've got 0. So I don't want it to be like vibrating and stuff like that because it just doesn't feel right. Then this, I don't use this, so don't copy that. Now for interface, I think having the nameplate scale like 111 or 120, you can see your opponent's car much easier, so it's a lot better. These two here I wouldn't recommend lower because it just looks weird. Because that just looks really odd. Obviously have it if you're used to it, but I just think it's odd. These can bring more lag into the game, so I don't have that. I've got time updates only. And this I've got default. And here, force default team colours. Team coloured boost meter. This is so your boost meter is orange or blue. I've got metric on. I'm from Europe, but I still use metric for this, I don't know why. And for video, this I've got max, this I've got full screen. This, if you're doing editing, I'll do MLAA, but if you're doing comp, just don't. This have 120 FPS. It depends your monitor and PC. If you've got like 144 Hz and a good monitor, you can do like near the top. But mine's decent and not the best, so I've got 120. This custom, high quality. All these you want low performance possible. And transparent goalposts just makes it easier to see the goalposts. So these, I never use any audio at all, so it's just like this all the time. You can have this different if you are used to it though. And these, I've never touched them before. These are all of my chat things, so just copy these and pause the video. These is not really anything really, except you can redeem codes if you want. I don't really know any though. And let's get into my car designs. I only do my Octane ones because there's no point doing the dumb ones. I've done those for my other video. So this is my first one, a Striker Crimson Octane. Then this one is a redeem code, I've forgotten what it is, but you redeem a code for it. Then this is my favourite paint finish, it's called EXO, and you get the darkest colour and it just looks really nice. Same with these, both EXO. And here I've got titanium white zombies. I actually got these from a crate a while ago. Titanium white sparkles, but I use backs more than have dark standard, well, black standard. Nothing there, nothing there. I've got this, but I don't really care about these. And light speed black. Now this, Striker Crimson Octane, sub decal called El Gato. Not like the screen thing. This EXO and Marble again. EXO's really good and Marble sticks out. Black Sterns. You can use this in Backs mod too, or just Cristianos if you don't have these. Then I use this, but I normally use Black Standard, Nothing, Black Overgrowth, Light Speed Black again. Now this one, this is the decal, and it's the same again with the EXO and Black Sterns. And I use this one. This one, the decal, is called Styler, then I use titanium white Cristianos. Now this is Sticker Bomb titanium white, and I use titanium white Sunburst. This one I use Lone Wolf titanium white, and I use the titanium white Cristianos again. This one I used Huntress, I think this was a Rocket Pass one. And Fennec I use this one with these. This I use this decal here. These the paint finishes. This I use Gale Fire, and this is the stuff. And I think there's only like 3 more. So this one's Chamberlain. And this one here is Island King titanium white, and this is the paint finishes. This one here is just black chakrams, and it's just not much going on. This is the last decal, and it's like a Christmas one, cold sweater, and this is the things here. So that's it for this video. If you found it helpful, like and sub. Doing a montage at 2.5k, and I'll see you then.